Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. Today's video, we're going to talk about don't do this. Don't ever make this stupid. So, guys, I saw a video on my favorite Canadian fellow, and it was about his bug out bag. Now, I think that video was done quite a while ago, but listening to the survival post, I don't know why he popped up on my my thing, but I saw the video. I was like, oh, this is cool. Cool guy, level-headed channel, seems, right? But anyway, I'm watching the Canadian fellas. I'm watching him review the Canadian fellas bug out bag, which is a ridiculous bag, by the way. I'm gonna do a separate video on that. And you could thank the survival post for this. Now, he was critiquing his bag. And like a lot of the comments in the comments section, I agree. The dumbest bag I've ever seen. You can tell that this fella doesn't do anything with his bug out gear because he hasn't learned how to use his bug out bag, if that makes sense. Now, before I get into the video, I run a group here called the NYC Preppers Network. We haven't done anything in a while because I've just been too busy. I'm going to try to get back to it or dead the group. Haven't decided yet. But we used to do something called bug out bag weekends. This is where we took our bug out bags in the woods and lived out of it for anywhere between 2 to 3 days. So with that, guys, you learn what worked and what didn't. And once we've done these things multiple times, my giant size beginner style bug out bag was something like the Canadian Preppers bag, this one here, and I modified it all the way down to what you see here. So guys, with that, right, you learn a lot when you take your bag out. You learn the ins and outs of what not to do with your bag and what to do with your bag and how not to hang gear all over your bag. Because sure, it looks cool, but it's not practical. Especially if you're bushwhacking and you're off trail and you're going through shit and your bag starts getting hung up on branches and all kinds of shit, right? It just doesn't, it's not practical in that sense. And you want to move fast. You want to not take your bag off every chance you get. You want to keep things within arm's reach. Now, that's true to a point. But to have everything all over the outside of your bag because it looks cool is not always a good thing. Now, being that this Canadian fellow, Canadian prepper I'm talking about, I'm not going to tear into him like I normally do in my live streams, just because that's a different subject when I tear into him. And I think it's fun. And I'm you know, don't like the guy, but I also understand why he does what he does. So that there goes my, you know, inner conflict, if you will. So while watching the video, the Survival Outpost pointed out something that he did that was very, in essence, deadly, or could be deadly, or could wind up getting somebody hurt. Now, in the beginning of the video, the bug out bag video, the Canadian Preppers bug out bag video, in the beginning of the video, he states that this is how he sets his bag up, that you don't have to set it up like mine. He does state that. But that doesn't do you any good when people follow you the way they do. There are people that look up to this man, right? I'm not saying that people look up to him like a god, which I'm pretty sure there's some people that do. But nonetheless, there are certain things about his bug out bag that's going to get people jammed up, hurt, and in a lot of cases, not a lot of cases, but a few cases, killed. Because it's the way the bag is set up, which is wrong. The amount of gear he has in his bag is way too much. But we're not going to talk about the bag. We're going to talk about something specific that he had on his bag, which I'm hoping he changed. I don't follow him anymore, so I don't know if he changed it, but hopefully he did. He had a knife on the shoulder strap of his bag. So this is a shoulder strap here. He had the knife like this. Now, the knife wasn't as big as this. It's a little smaller. But size, at that point, doesn't matter. Not according to women. But the size of the knife, for this purpose, is going to be my blades work knife, if I'm not mistaken. This is called a sniper blade knife. Very good knife. This is my go-to woodsman knife. So anyway, he had the knife placed on his shoulders like this. On the strap, the shoulder strap. So, of course, guys, you watch enough tactical movies, you watch some of these bug out bag movies or bug out movies or prepper movies, and you see them put a knife here on the shoulders. Do not put your knife on anyone's shoulder strap next to your neck. What runs right around here? The carotid artery. It only takes, guys, but one mistake to slice that carotid artery, and in about a minute or so, you're dead. Done. Don't carry a knife on your shoulder strap anywhere near a vital organ. Don't do it. It's by far the stupidest thing I've ever seen anyone do. And clearly, that tells me that this person is not familiar with carrying gear. Because that's one thing, guys, as an outdoorsman, you learn is to minimize your chances of getting hurt. This is why you swing an axe, you swing it from your knees, right? Especially if you're by yourself. If you're around a couple people, you can stand up. But if it is the SHTF situation, you're going to want to take every safety precaution so that you don't get hurt and you don't bleed out and die. But nonetheless, guys, you should always carry it where you can see it being unsheathed and sheathed, right? Never have it in a blind spot. I watched like a lot of survivalists, guys. They carry it around the small of their back, and that's a little dangerous because you can't see it at all. Actually, that's more dangerous. You can't see it at all, right? At least here you can sort of see it, and once you pull it out, you can sort of put it back, right? But if you're in the middle of putting it back and some crazy shit happens, this thing, guys, this knife is going to go right into your neck, right across your carotid, and you're done. Don't be that asshole. Do not carry on your shoulder strap. The smaller your back, a lot of guys are like, oh, that looks cool. Again, the smaller your back, that's a tough one. I've tried it. Don't get me wrong, guys. I've tried to put this shit in the small of my back and put it back in with a dull knife. And I practice and practice. And it only takes one time to fucking cut yourself and you're done carrying it that way. Keep it where you can see it. I've seen some people carry it here on their vest. Stupid. Carrying it here on your vest, you can sort of get away with doing it this way. Here is a problem. You pull it out, and then you put it back in, and again, something crazy happens. Where is this knife going? At least here, when you cap it up here, from the bottom up, you can sort of steer it here. And if you stab anything, you're going to stab a rib cage and maybe protect yourself. But I mean, even here, you can see it a lot better here than you can here. I mean, I got a less fat in my neck these days, so I could see a little better. Well, why put it there and cause an accident here? I mean, putting it here, you got to be careful as well, right? Mounting it on your vest like this, again, it looks cool, but it's not practical, right? On the back of your vest like this, but back here, see if I can reach, right back here. Oh, it looks cool. It looks cool back there. Don't do it. Make sure, guys, it's somewhere you can see it. You can mount it on the side of your hip like this, and you can watch it going in when it's on your hip. That's why I always keep it on my hip. Secondly, why you do not want to have it on your bag, right? Whether you have it like this in your bag, you don't want to have it on your bag because if you lose that bag, guys, there goes your knife. When I go out in the wilderness, guys, I have a wilderness belt and I have another knife that's on my belt. So I have two knives, and the wilderness belt only comes off at night when I go to sleep. And I grab that belt, and that's the first belt that's the belt that I automatically conditioned myself. If I have to bug out or bail out of that tent, I grab that belt and I dip into the woods. I leave my clothes behind before I grab that belt. I leave my clothes behind and I grab the belt first. The belt will be the first thing I take all the time. Now, if you're bugging out, your clothes should be on you. You shouldn't be naked or sleeping in your underwears, but some people love to sleep in their underwears or naked. So maybe, but if you're bugging out, keep your fucking clothes on. That's another tip. And so all you have to do is grab your belt and your bag. But if you have to leave anything behind, you're going to leave the bag behind. If this knife is on your bag, now you don't have a knife. And if you keep your fire pouch in your bag, guess what happens to your fire pouch? You can't make fire. The fire pouch and my knife are the two things that stay on my person at all times. Period. There's no discussion with that. So again, for somebody who builds a lot of bug out bags, and I do too. Don't get me wrong, guys. You've seen my videos. I go through bags like you wouldn't believe. But I make sure I set them up all but the same way. I set them up all the same exact way. Provided some things might switch because of pockets and compartments, nonetheless, they're pretty much set up the same way. I'm just testing out their comfortability. But when somebody puts a video out who is proclaimed to be like this outdoors guy, apparently, guys, that's a deadly junior Johnny Green Thumb mistake. Don't ever fucking do that. Don't put this somewhere where you can slice into yourself and bleed out. The neck, guys, is the worst. Again, Here is a little better than here. Behind the back, I don't see why anybody would want to do it. I watch guys do it all the time. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Keep it where you can see it. If you want to keep it on your side like this so that you can pull it out such, so be it. You can see it on your waist. When you're putting it back in, you're looking at it. When you don't look at your knife and you try to sheath it or unsheath it, guys, that's where problems happen. And I've watched guys do it. I've watched guys sheath their knives, not looking at it like they were being cool, and slice right into their finger. I heard stories of guys doing that with swords. Guys who've taken katanas and practice with them and then try to do like the Japanese do because they felt it the wrong way and slice their fucking fingers off. Don't do it. Make sure, guys, especially if you're new to this, the knife has to be in front of you where you can see it, where you can see it going back in the sheath and coming back out, right? Granted, there might be special forces guys that are used to doing that. That's special forces. We are not special forces. We are preppers, bushcrafters, outdoorsmen, survivalists, whatever you want to label yourself. That's who we are. And we practice when we go out in the woods. We're not practicing 12 hours a day, every day, all day. We don't do that. Nonetheless, guys, be careful who you follow and who you listen to. That is the other point to this video. There's so many preppers out there, and there's so many people following these people, that when people do shit like that, and oh man, it looks cool. I look all tactical and shit. Look at me, I'm a tactical dude. Yeah, you're a dead motherfucker if you slice into your neck. All it takes, guys, is a cut, and you're done. You're bleeding out. There is no tourniquet or bandage in the world that's going to stop that bleed. There isn't. Once you slice into that, you are done, especially when you start panicking. Right, guys? So with that, please do me a favor. Watch who you follow on the internet, even me. I know people are like, yeah, but you get... Even when you follow those guys, you still got to do the research on your own. And even more, you got to test your gear out. You got to go out there and get it done. This staying home shit and hoping that when it happens, you're going to fucking come to. If a lot of you guys set up your bag like that man did, Canadian Prepper, you are going to hurt yourself or possibly kill yourself because you are copying somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. Be careful of it. Be careful who you follow. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.